I guess this is all I need. Let's rumble. Unless... Oh, thank Christ. Unless there's more stuff for me to read here. Maybe for... Well, I was gonna say maybe for lucky Larissa will be alive, but...
Vengeance awaits.
Don't rush me. One thing at a time.
I would prefer that we reach Sechenov before Kollektiv is updated and it is too late to change anything, in case you don't like his answers.
Yeah, don't worry, we're on the way there. What happened in the news interview? Because it looks like things are kind of going to shit here too. Hey, yeah, Nora.
Authorization. Major Nechayev, codename P3.
Just checking in. I hope Nora doesn't turn out to be my wife. That'd be really awkward. Hey! Oh god, it's laughing. I don't like the flexibility of your ability to murder me. Oh geez. The twin's energy, just like you, a twin has the ability to store up energy in order to enhance its attacks. Attack it to take out its stored up energy and weaken your foe's special attack.
Is that left or right? Same difference.
You have no idea how right you are.
Unfortunately, the dialogue got cut off by a fucking tutorial prompt, so like, I don't know what Charles was talking about.
Technology, and for what? To kill. How disgraceful.
The latest robot technology, all to get savagely beat up.
This lady has no desire to dance with you.
Of course she has a desire to dance to me, or dance with me, in a dance of death. One that I happen to be winning.
Major, fight!
I'm not looking at anything, I'm just fighting the shit out of her.
The twin is using everything she has to kill you. Use everything you have.
I'm using my most effective tool. Yeah. Oh my god. That's terrifying.
There were two of them.
Oh god, I keep going the wrong way. Fire!
Don't give up, Major. You need to get upstairs.
The tracking rockets are really effective, even if I miss. They come back around eventually. Woo! Ow! Hey, you're supposed to be dead. Oh no. What the fuck is this shit? Her final death throws? Jeez. You good? Can we take this thing out permanently? Ugh. Oh no, I don't want to be crushed by the hammer and sickle. Well, that's not good. I guess I still have to deal with her. And potentially her twin sister. Oh boy. I can see where the mine traps could have been good. I can just shoot at the floor over and over again.
Approved by the Secret Congress of the CPSU Central Committee on February 14, 1951. The goal is the suppression of the United States of America, change of political regime, abolition of capitalism, establishment of communism, establishing social and moral ideals consistent with the beliefs of a Soviet person. The method of execution is the seizure of the strategic and military facilities, followed by disconnection and shutdown of nuclear power plants. Effective deactivation of the atomic heart of America, complete surrender of the government, and the transfer of power to the top leadership of the USSR.
So how are they gonna pull that off?
Well, Sergei, first they sell robots, then they simply give them away as aid. Once they reach critical mass, they take over all the power plants and cut off the power.
Whoa. What's up, Belyash? What was this? Oh, the document of the atomic heart?
Greetings, honored members of the Politburo. I am pleased to inform you that the Atomic Heart Project is now complete and ready for launch. This is a top-secret project designed to crush the resistance of our class enemies in Western Europe, East Asia, and of course, North America.
Of course.
As you know, Facility 3826 has been a player on the capitalist market for many years now, providing a labor force, i.e. robots, to the entire world free of charge as a way to skirt sanctions. We have intentionally refused to sell some of our devices, such as Burabs and Condors, while pretending not to be interested in the others and accepting payment only for maintenance and repair. The distribution of these robots has already led to civil unrest due to growing unemployment in rival countries. But more importantly, it has also led to our devices being located in strategic targets, without exception, including nuclear power plants.
And they deserve to be taken over at that point.
In order to bring about the triumph of international socialism, we will activate our robots' hidden capabilities. After switching them to combat mode, we will capture rival countries' nuclear reactors and demand that power be handed over to the people. The borders of the Soviet Union will expand beneath the banner of a people's uprising. We will demonstrate the advantages of our ideology and disseminate it throughout the world. The Soviet Union will square its shoulders and direct mankind's gaze up to the stars. The Atomic Heart Project will be launched as soon as every citizen of our nation has been fully polymerized. Thank you for your time, comrades.
And yet they don't know that in reality, he's gonna do even more though. I can't read any of this! Good golly! Then we're moving it on! Oh, hey everybody!
At full speed, the GMC 69 geodesic monocycle's wheel can slice a man's body in half. Its standard loadout includes a 7.62mm machine gun that can be replaced with a flamethrower or laser gun.
Oh my
I
gosh.
still don't get how we can control machines in America from the Soviet Union. It's not like hacking a hub in the facility.
Comrade Major, the polymers have the ability to transmit information among themselves without need for radio frequencies. No other transmitters are required, since the neuropolymer is itself a transmitter. Kollektiv 2.0 will work the same way, but with the brains of ordinary users. An enormous social distance would be required to avoid control, but any undesirable outcasts will be caught by the robots.
This robot's extremities are made out of PTA-4 for improved human spine-breaking performance.
Spine-breaking performance! Damage potential up to 80 kills per hour! I love that you know, they just have an entire hallway dedicated to revealing the truth. What if somebody got in here by accident?
The NAT-256 Natasha heavy-duty ground-based loader bot can squeeze up to 5 liters of blood from a human body in under 20 seconds.
I bet it'll be like how people control these monsters with that fucking gizmo there. The thought controller.
As I said earlier, thought is nothing but a trinket, a fake. The primary connector is the Jellyman, the neuropolymer, and only Sechenov has access to it. Only the Jellyman, the massive data array, can resonate with all polymerized objects and control them. And believe me, Comrade Major, A tremendous amount of polymer has been spread throughout the world over the last few years. Every machine and every human being on Earth will become part of Kollektiv.
You couldn't even be like a little bit like trying to be peaceful.
Designed as a mobile healthcare unit, the dock cannot replace a medic or paramedic, but it is quite adept at performing autopsies, especially if the patient is still alive.
No, that's really bad.
The Bumblebee has a silent mode for infiltrating enemy lines and gathering intelligence.
I mean, thankfully we've never actually had to fight a Bumblebee, I guess. Stinger cable hook, laser gun. Hey. Okay.
Acting as an exoskeleton for a pluche-based neuropolymer creature, the Dewdrop is a highly capable combat unit whose laser beam's penetration rate for human flesh is a staggering 0.15 seconds.
So to make a long story short, Sechenov is in charge of this polymer thingy, this Jellyman, and the Jellyman is going to be in charge of everything that becomes part of the network.
Indeed.
Sounds like frickin' black magic or something.
The polymers have not been fully studied, nor has Kollektiv. It is entirely possible that humans have created something greater than themselves. In fact, the electronic messages you have been reading at the pair terminals may very well have been specially selected for you by the neural network, or even created. We simply don't know, Major.
I don't like the sound of that.
It's no worse than a single man's drive to control more lives than just his own.
You say that, but like, if this thing can control every human being in the world, that is
The Hauler
really
is capable
bad.
of detaining intruders with a special clamp. It is programmed to keep the subject pinned to the ground while awaiting a human rapid response team, or terminate it if none is coming.
And what about these little assholes, huh?
The ideal anti-personnel operator, programmed with advanced melee techniques, prioritizing breaking victims' necks to ensure zero survivability.
I mean, they do drop kick the shit out of me. So am I gonna have to fight the Jellyman too? God.
A light reconnaissance drone. A group of owls can lift an enemy off the ground and drop it from a lethal height.
Listen, this is fucking bonkers. Sechenov wants to take over the world and blow up America.
Not blow it up, just deprive it of electricity. Weren't you listening? If you still have doubts after the Academy, what I've told you, and everything you've seen around you, let's just do what we came here to do. Look your former boss in the eye and ask him.
It'd be really amusing if he really is just like, yeah, no, what? That's my intention. Will Sechenov really be truthful to us?
The MQ-68 laborer is heavily represented among the robotic staff of prisons, where it carries out patrol duties.
I mean, anyone can look at this fucking thing and be like, yeah, it could kill someone.
Designed as a freight drone, the Drofa also doubles as a punitive expedition unit. Its unique Archimedes screw rotors can chop a human body into bits as efficiently as an industrial-grade meat grinder.
You know, I feel like maybe my Electro and my Railgun aren't good choices for,
Saving data.
boss fighting here.
So, what will it be?
There's really nothing else I can, like, grab. Like, I can get the Dominator, but... Nah. Nah. I can just also shoot the Kalash. The Kalash. Over and over and over again. Get the hell out of here. Take this. I'll do another one of these.
Saving data.
All right. Let's try our luck. I don't really feel like we can actually sneak up on him.
Boss?
Protect.
Well, Cheriton, are you proud of yourself? You, Larissa, and Zenaida have certainly been busy. But Sergei, I wouldn't have expected you to be quite so gullible, my boy.
Silence! You messed with my head. You wiped my memory. Am I a toy to you like those other people connected to Kollektiv? Who the fuck do you think you are?
Calm down, Sergei. I can see you're terribly upset. It's okay, I don't blame you. But you, Cheriton, you were supposed to help the boy, not pull his strings like a puppet.
Me? Don't you blame this on me? I'm not the one trying to deprive everyone of their free will, turning them into mindless puppets. It wasn't my choice to be a talking pile of goo either. You're glad it happened, aren't you? You'll use everything and everyone to achieve your goal, including me and your agent. Admit it!
How dare you? I lost you both, then saved your lives. You're both scientific miracles. You are my best friend, Cheriton. And the Major is like a son to me.
And those two are like daughters, right? And everyone you're going to connect to Kollektiv, everyone whose minds you're going to control, who are they to you? Millions of foster kids? Everyone is just grist for your mill, Dimitri.
I want to give mankind a spectacular future. Unimaginable achievements. I want to give them a path to the star.
Both of you, shut up! Get your hands up! Some goddamn wizard you are. Tell him to stand down. I'm counting to 3. 1!
What a shame.
2!
It's a shame you've escalated this situation without even trying to resolve it peacefully. But I won't let you stand in the way of progress. Right, left, terminate.
Oh god. Wait, I'm totally down to resolve it peacefully. Maybe we could talk it out. Oh god, what the fuck? Ow! Ow! Stop! Knock it off! I didn't know we were quick timing and make this shit. Oh my god! Whoa! Hey! Whoa! This doesn't seem like a very fair fight. Well, you know, let's see how you guys handle being hit by a bunch of weapons. Oh, that doesn't seem like a smart idea in the middle of your boss's office! Your robots are about to set this place on fire, Sechenov!
What the actual living fuck is this?
Stop blaming the machines, Major.
Freaking fucking critters! These are cold hard facts, Bulliet!
Why don't you run into the electricity?
Stop messing with my head! So one of these robots is Ekaterina Nechaeva, his wife I don't remember? Well, which one?
They both are.
I tried to bring Lesna back to life. Her brain was literally ripped in half. I wanted to restore her right and left hemispheres, but the process was too complicated.
What the shit? But why? You're already fucking with people who are still alive. Couldn't you just leave the dead in peace?
You know what? Why don't I try to do... No, telekinesis working here? Okay.
What other memories have you wiped, boss? And how many times?
You couldn't accept her death, and I couldn't save her. I had to.
That's enough, boss. I'm willing to believe that you were acting in my best interests. But why couldn't you just tell me?
I'm sorry, I wasn't sure what to do.
Right now, the right thing is to call out the twins and just talk to me.
Forgive me, but right now they're fighting Sheridan, not you.
Yeah, well, you know, I happen to be attached to the glove, so it's my life that's in danger!
Crispy critters! Can we just stop fighting?
Get rid of Sheridan. Take off the glove.
I don't think that's a good idea!
First call off!
Call off my wives!
We tend to... Major, wait!
The dialogue's all cutting off! What the fuck is going on? What do you fuckers want from me? One at a goddamn time!
Katya.
Your wife is dead. Sechenov took her from...
She's talking in the system, just like you are, buddy! But if all she needs me to do is blast these robots apart, I'll gladly do it!
Before anyone else gets hurt.
Dimitri is suggesting that I'll be hurt. You will be next, Major.
Finally.
Will you really kill your own wife again?
She's already dead! If she were really alive and in control, she wouldn't be fighting me like this! Looks like right has drastically less health than left. Get out of here! Oh no, what are we doing here? Oh, not this laser bullshit again! Oh gosh! Yep, okay, popping the heel. That doesn't look safe for anyone in this room. Oh, my wives tuckered themselves out. Uh-oh. Okay.
You lousy
You
piece
don't
of
understand.
shit.
Sheridan's manipulating you.
Oh my god.
He gained access to the Voskhod module in your brain and started sending you to limbo. I was busy getting ready for the Kollektiv update, so I didn't realize it right away. He's the one who killed Molotov. Tell me, Sheridan, did you do the same thing to Dr. Filatova? Did you use my agent to tear her limb from limb?
I'm sick of your hypocrisy, Dimitri. I did your dirty work while you stayed squeaky clean.
But they didn't deserve to die. Why have you done this?
You motherfucker this whole time.
I've had quite enough of you, Major.
Oh my
Your
Jesus.
job is done.
P3, my boy. Get up! Get up!
Did he just kill me? Oh shit.
What do you want?
I want all this to end, Dimitri. I want your pathetic human race to realize it has no future. It's time for it to step aside and make way for the next phase of its evolution.
Oh god. I didn't realize Charles was gonna turn out to be so crazy. I guess I should have listened to the
Sheridan, you're pure evil.
sexual harassment robot.
What are you going to do to humanity and Kollektiv?
You should not call something evil just because you cannot comprehend it. Evil is an abstract concept, and your thinking is limited. You are a human, a species that will soon be extinct. I realized when I stopped being human myself.
Oh, jeez.
Your limitations prevent you from seeing the truth. Dumb humans don't want to evolve. All they want is comfort and satisfaction on someone else's dime.
You never wanted to join with the massive array. No. Stop, Chariton. No.
I changed my mind.
Well, I mean, I have my glove. I could technically fight it. So... Oh.
The Argentum unit entered Dr. Sechenov's office and found no trace of the doctor. According to partially reconstructed footage, it appears the humanoid neuropolymer object approached Dr. Sechenov's body and then completely consumed it. After the events described in the report, the unidentified humanoid neuropolymer object left Dr. Sechenov's office and vanished.
Did I survive?
P2, P3. Mind is never free.
Dumb, crispy critters!
You have the bond of marriage! Woo!
There is nothing I can do.
True?
If you leave me here to cry.
I'm so confused.
There is nothing I can do. If you leave me here to cry.
I'll have to, well... I'll try the alternate ending, where,
You know my love will follow you, baby.
where I just say, no, I won't fight. I doubt, like, it'll probably be its own different ending, but I doubt it'll be like, this is probably supposed to be, like, the actual ending of this game, and it's just kind of, well, it's interesting. Because, like, obviously...
But there's one thing you can't deny.
I'm getting a little distracted by the sound. What is going on? Are we trying to break out of limbo? What the fuck's going on here? Yeah, I've got no idea what's happening in there. Are we just like in the system? Did we get eaten by Chariton, the, you know, the Jelly Man fusion? really fucking struggling in there. God damn. All right, well, interesting that they're going with this way, especially because like everything else in the story has been everything's been very predictable, for the most part. Flatlined. Oh, is that what was going on? The game glitched out and put me back in the boss fight. In the background. That was the sound of me getting my fucking ass handed to me over and over again. What? What? That's a fucking really crazy bug. What? Oh god, that means I have to fight them again. No! Alright, well... The alternate ending... Funnily enough, the alternate ending is... pretty solid in that, like, he really does put it together that, like, yeah, we probably can't trust, at the very least, Cheriton. It's like, you know what? Actually, thinking about it, if Sechenov was really that bad of a guy, he could just use the thing that you made! And that's pretty amusing. That ending you put it together. Because otherwise, like, the more, like, satisfying ending of where you, like, actually, like, fight the twins, and you confront Sechenov, obviously, you technically lose, but clearly, I wish we were just hearing a song rather than hearing this Russian voice at the moment. I'm about to hop in the car. Ah, but the car, it's gonna be in the car too. That's tragic. But alright, that is Atomic Heart. That is a very interesting ending for the main actual ending. We don't really have a lot of games where, like, after everything's said and done, the bad guy wins. And so, I hope this game gets a sequel, because that leaves the world in a hell of a state, right? A hell of a state that, after everything is said and done, Kollektiv is... I mean, I don't know, it's weird, because I guess Cheriton is gonna try and, like, kill humanity or some shit, or like force humanity to evolve and become like him, but it's not really necessarily clear how he's going to accomplish that, especially because his betrayal is very, very sudden. All things just like it's just... It was one thing I could have tried to predict, but I didn't even bother because I didn't really think he could do much being a glove. But then he just slithered himself out and became the Jelly Man. And at that point, really, it's Sechenov's fucking... All Sechenov had to do was call off the twins, and I would have let him talk things out, and we would have probably been fine. And it's actually kind of annoying that we do, like, lack the choice there, because I probably would have chosen to hear out Sechenov, and they probably could have put the two and two together that Cheriton was up to something. But instead we get more of an ending that's like, ah, okay. Sudden betrayal, Cheriton's the bad guy, he wins, he slithers off into the fucking sewers, and everybody's just, like, left super confused as to, like, what's going on in the world. And obviously, the Major is, like, in the system still, / still alive. I imagine he has to be alive for the sake of, like, a sequel. Oh my god, my car is still here from earlier? That's really funny to me. Oh my god. I fucking... It's been like 20 hours since I was forced to get out of this car. I would have thought this shit would have died and respawned or something. It's permanently there. It's just a part of the lake now. Right, in terms of the game itself, like again, the ending is very interesting. I would love to see them like actually get a sequel and show like, oh, what happens when Sheridan tries to take over the world, because that leaves things way more interesting than like kind of what was happening here. Like this overall world situation or what's happening in facility 3826 is like bare minimum interesting. Like, oh, the robots killed everybody and like we have to deal with the situation. But like beyond that, it's kind of very samey for a lot of it, which is surprising to me because like at the beginning it felt like we were gonna have like a lot of variety because we see like, oh, you know, look at the lore, we've got all of these different enemy types. But for the most part, a lot of these like types on the machine list you really don't actually deal with. A lot of it is just you're dealing with lab techs. Like there's a fuck ton of lab techs. And then like a couple of like other robots occasionally, that most of them are very optional. You really don't actually have to deal with engineers unless you want loot. You literally only fight some of the enemies once. We only fought 2 Natashas. We fought 1 Dewdrop. Mutants we fought plenty of times. Mothers were obviously there plenty of times. Plushes were there a lot. Blushes were there a lot. They're there a lot more than Belyash. Like enemy variety was okay, but yeah, for the most part, it was a lot of lab tech, and so it'd be interesting to see like a more drastic. Oh, what the fuck happened over here? There's actually some mutants chilling in the lake that I didn't notice, or some sprouts. Hey. It shoots through multiple targets. That's something I actually didn't test at all. I didn't think to test it because the damage was so disappointing. Yeah, honestly, the like atmosphere of the game didn't really like after the opening. Everything just felt like the same as the first facility. Like, oh, there's dead bodies everywhere. There were times I would walk through rooms and literally not even notice the dead bodies were there anymore. They just became like nothing. And I think a lot of that just becomes, a lot of that comes down to that we really legitimately only run into one other alive human besides like Xena and Petrov and Filatova. Beyond that, it was literally just the one scientist guy inside of the Hemlock room. That was it. That was the only other alive human. Besides that, it was just talking dead bodies. And so I feel like thematically there just wasn't really a reason to like care about all the death and destruction beyond just the surface level. Like, oh no, it's bad that people died. And obviously, if this were a real scenario, I'd be like fucking super concerned. But like as a game, it's like, oh yeah, there's just dead bodies everywhere. That's just the base default. That's, you know, the same as like dead bodies strewn about all over the place, or the same as like the color red on this car or the green on the trees. It's just background noise. There wasn't actually anything to make me care super hardcore about like the individual going ons of like every place really at all. And that's fine on a level, but yeah, that's just how I kind of like felt about it, and I hope that like if they get a sequel, they do something about that. Like I don't know where it would take place, because it couldn't take place in Facility 3826 again. I mean, it could, but like this place is used up, and the open world for it's kind of just okay. You know, one thing we never went over into this fucking place. We never went inside of here. What's up with that? Excuse me, coming through. What's up? Is this just gonna be like a DLC place? What the fuck is this? The hell? Oh! Developers? Supporters? Creepy. I don't know. This place has completely caught me off guard. Huh. But overall, I think the game was alright. It did kind of... It both went past some of my expectations and also went kind of below it. Over the years, it's one of those games that's just been shown off like a ton. Because they really liked a lot of their visuals. And visually, I think this game does look really, really good in a lot of places. It doesn't use darkness as much as it could. I would have loved exploring like some of the places could have been legitimately horrifying if there was a lot more like darkness in play and like having to worry about like my flashlight and stuff while dealing with the robots, and the robots or the mutants come out of the darkness or fog. Like that would be kind of cool, but obviously they weren't trying to go for like an overall horror feel. But my expectations going in, or at least over the years, was for this to be a lot more like Stalker. I didn't think this was going to be more like BioShock. BioShock's like a pretty close comparison. Not like super hardcore, but like enough that I literally shoot lightning at people and then shoot them, you know, the 1-2 punch, shoot them with lightning and then hit them with your wrench or your gun. And that's kind of like the mainstay, and then I just pop my shield and I telekinesis people. Telekinesis was really fun, fully upgraded. It's a shame that like it didn't get, like, it wasn't fucking useful at all in the second phase of the twin battle, but it was, I'll give it credit, it was useful in the first part, just not against like actually both twins. Don't really know what you can do there. The other powers were a little disappointing. Again, frost sucks when you can't actually like, when it makes your loot disappear, that's fucking insane. Never, ever. That should never be a thing in a game where, like, loot's very, very important. You should never be able to make your loot literally despawn because you used a game element to its, like, full effect. That's just ludicrous. But yeah, I'd say the only real big faults of the game are kind of like what ends up happening with a lot of open world games. The open world in and of itself doesn't really feel good in any kind of way. Like 80% of this open world is literally just like roads to traverse on and like hills to look at, like, you know, hills and fields to look at that look pretty. It's like, this looks really, really pretty. It's nice. But damn, functionally, there's fucking nothing out here. Like, there's not even enemies over here, and obviously parts of that is because I disabled the hawk systems, and so a lot of enemies are just kind of like on standby. But damn, that should like never even be the case. I don't even know if like I feel like that's a bug, like some kind of. There's been so many crazy ass bugs in this game, it wouldn't fucking surprise me. But there are so many times where like a robot just isn't like moving or something, and I don't know if it's because I'm like too far away sometimes, or if that's how it's supposed to be. There are plenty of times where a robot would get repaired and then would just kind of stay inactive, and I don't know what the fuck was going on with that. But yeah, I wish the open world like had genuine like people in the world to interact with and like side questing, even just a little bit. It doesn't have to go too hard. I would love it for it to again to have gone to like a Stalker direction where you have like vendors and shit, and you actually have to kind of care about like where you're going, and you have kind of a system that makes you...
You've been detected by the enemy. More robots will arrive shortly.
Kind of have to think about your inventory a little bit more. As much as I really love...
Watch out!
being able to just grab shit and all of it goes to my vendor or to the I'm not getting you out of there. You can stay in there. As much as I like the vendor being this fucking infinite quantum storage device, it became awkward that, like, by the end of the game, I had, like, thousands upon thousands of spare bullets just on standby, and if not, I could create thousands upon thousands, but there was never any, like, tension in that regard. I just knew if things went bad, all I had to do was walk a couple of corners around, maybe get sexually harassed by a robot, by the vending machine, and then everything would be fine. Although that one was weird. We never actually resolved that particular plot line. She was just creepy all the way to the end. But overall, I think this game is fun. I think that at its worst, if you were to like rush through this game, there really isn't as much value. You could get through this game pretty quickly if you just like not only ignore the testing grounds, but you just like ignore all the shit that like all the lore things that are going on inside of like each facility, and you just rush objective to objective. But surprisingly, we're like 25, 30 hours into this game. I'm not I'm not actually 100% sure. Oh, hello, sir.
You asked for it.
So there was still quite a lot there, even if by the end of it all, we don't really have... Why is there a fucking kite stuck up there? Even if we don't really have like a reason to go about and explore the world any more than just like eye candy. Like there's no... I don't think we're really gonna run into any hidden bosses. That's something I wish we could have had a lot more of. I wish the bosses were like... I wish once we had gotten past this area, we had just started to run to like drastically more bosses. Technically that is what happened. Like we ran into 2 plushes on this bridge. There were plenty of bosses. As we went into like the testing ground 12 and whatnot. We had a good number of boss fights over here, but that a lot of that was just like scripted story stuff, whereas what I wanted was a little bit more like, oh, I triggered an alarm, and now I went up to like level 3, and now a fucking Natasha bot just dropped out of the sky, and I have to like make a choice whether to fight it or like run away. I feel like that's a very basic thing in an open world, is to like have a punishing, escalating system, but they like stopped themselves for some reason at just 2. And I get that for the early part of the game, but like by the point that we fought like Natasha, that shit, we should be able to go up to 4. Bring out the crazy shit. That's what I would like to do. I want to fight crazy amounts of robots and or mutants with the Mick Gordon soundtrack kicking up at blast. That's when the game was like at its like most fun. And it happened quite a few times, but like there are areas where like once you clear out all the people, that's it. You just have to like sit there and wait for them to get repaired, rather than like say dealing with like in a different open world game, them just actually generating in and like walking around and like or dealing with like a big alarm system. That's my biggest disappointment with the game. It's just the open world in and of itself, very lackluster by the end of it. But visually, things are pretty good. Music, I fucking love a lot of the music in the game. I hope they release all of the like original soundtrack in a reasonable, timely manner and not just super staggered. But so far, the game's been out for like 4 days or something. So, haven't seen my Mick Gordon soundtracks on YouTube as of yet. But I'm down to see more of this. Again, I'm at its most fun for me, this game was like 8 out of 10. Like, looking at it as an overall package, it's like a low 8 out of 10. Could lead into 7 on like a bad mood. Because again, like, look at this. I can just walk around. Is this even back up? I took that hawk down like 10 hours ago. It's not back up. It's not full. The generator isn't fully repaired. So this area just doesn't have like enemies for me to fight. There's nothing to like do there. In terms of, I like that we were able to get all of my stuff upgraded in terms of like the main guns that I use. It was really bad that the neuro mod shit didn't, or the neuro modules were broken. That's crazy to me that like the end game resource was literally bugged out and I couldn't get it. Or not even an end game resource, it's a boss fight reward that I just wasn't getting. But thank God that I was able to mod it. If I was like, I've seen people say they had the bug on Xbox. At that point, you're fucked. You can't like go into a text file like I was able to do on the Xbox. You just have to kind of like accept your fate. But thankfully, they just made it very simple, and you just had to go to a text file and modify a few numbers. So thank God for the people who found that out. Man, I guess we'll see what ends up happening with the sequel. Well, that's something that sucks. I liked the friendship between Comrade Major and Charles. You know, before Charles became like a fucking he just went on a flip, man. The dude just goes, "Hey, yeah, by the way, ever since I became a digital sentient being, I realized humanity has to die." Like, oh, Jesus fuck, buddy. That's almost kind of like a huge personality twist, because like in earlier parts of the game, he was telling us to be more sympathetic and empathetic towards the dead. And then he's the fucking he's the twist boss, or not even boss, but twist end villain. So I'm sad to kind of see that dynamic go away, because yeah, basically by the end of the game, the only person that like we could have a dynamic with is Granny Xena, and I guess potentially the lingering remnants of Plutonium's wife. I keep forgetting like like the name that he's given, but Sergei's wife is supposedly still in the system.
We need to hurry. Maybe we can still save some folks once the malfunction gets fixed. We gotta find a car. The German's right. We can't hoof it all the way to the Pavlov complex.
And yet, that's exactly what I can do. I can just walk all the way there. I guess to be fair, in terms of like overall available land space that they could say, you could come back to the facility and just say that we're like on the other side, or that like time has passed and like say 10 or 20 years has passed, or even just like a year, and like things are getting back up and running, and now the robots are even more advanced. Yeah, it's weird that the ending of the game basically wraps up to just don't let an evil AI take over the world. It's like, yeah, sure, I'll try. I guess. Gotta make sure that, like, if somebody's consciousness is stored digitally, that they don't suddenly realize, oh yeah, I'm better than everybody else. Gotta watch out for the egomaniacs. But alright, hopefully you guys enjoyed our time in alternate history 1955 Soviet Union. I'm interested to see if this game gets a sequel, because like if they work from what they have here, they could make a really good sequel. Like make the inventory system more interesting, make the open world system a little bit more interesting, have a few mechanics be a little bit more rewarding, and like in terms of like the power, the weight of some of the weapons. The cartridge system, I would have maybe enjoyed a little bit more if it was more of like an overall element thing rather than like a consumable inventory thing. And then also just like make the combat overall a smidge harder. Like we're playing on the hardest difficulty, and while I died a good number of times, it was really only due to like the surprise of the encounter more than like the actual genuine difficulty of like every fight. Most fights were like enemies Zerg rushing me into my face, and as we saw, the right click of this was like overly powerful. Even just left clicking things in the face was highly effective. So there's a few things that I think they could learn from the various criticisms of the game. GaLm, how'd you like the VA? I think I liked Russians more than English. I mean, I fucking haven't listened to the Russian voice acting at all, so I wouldn't be able to like give any kind of comparison to that. But I liked Comrade Major. I really liked the main character, and I liked Charles. I liked them a lot, and I'm sad that like they're not going to be able to have that dynamic unless like something happens and somebody else gets put in my glove. You know, they could easily be like, oh yeah, in the next game it's your wife in the glove, and she gives you like cryptic messages just like the heart from Dishonored or something. Don't like P3's voiceover, just never fit the character for me? Sure, I guess. I don't know. If it seems to fit perfectly well for the lines that we were given. He's kind of an asshole, and that's it. He's kind of an asshole trying to do his job. He's incredibly dense about all the things that are going on. And that kind of becomes that. One day maybe we'll get a glove companion that actually cares about the PC. I'm sure there's gotta be. You could spam those rockets so quickly I didn't even realize. Holy shit. This guy doesn't give a fuck. Get me out of here. I am sad that we, that while Sechenov might not have been as bad as we thought he was going to be, he did still plan to invade America. So, like, you know, still really, like, the lesser of two evils kind of thing. So, I don't feel too bad about him getting taken out. But, again, obviously concerned about how that particular plot could be resolved. But obviously, if they were to do a sequel, we'd end up, like, stopping him. But, you know, in the process, there'd probably be a crazy amount of damage or something. We'll see. All right. Let me wrap up the YouTube review here. Hopefully you guys enjoyed our time in Russia once again, or well, the Soviet Union, in this very industrially revolutionized place. They said a lot of it was artificially created. I'm surprised we never had to fight a Burov, but maybe that'll change in the future. Yeah, hopefully you guys enjoyed this Let's Play. I will see you guys in the next one.